This video is going to be a little late because today marks 2 weeks that I tested positive for COVID. So I've been dealing with that, and let me tell you, it has been interesting. Stick around, let's talk about it for a minute.
I'll give you all of what I've got. The fancy finds, baby, I have not. Just gonna love you. Yeah, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you, baby. Cross my heart and hope to die.
I'm gonna try to cut out all of these spots where I'm clearing my throat, trying to cover up some of these leftover symptoms. Because I'm gonna tell you, I mean, they linger for a while. So let's just start from the beginning. I'm not gonna get into all the weird political stuff, but I will just tell you that, you know, I wore my mask all the time. You know, if I was at work, I was required to wear my mask, so I wore a mask. We were in a store, I wore my mask. We sat down to dinner, I'd take my mask off and I'd eat like everybody does these days. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I wore my mask. And I washed my hands a lot. I had Germ-X I kept in my truck and by my bed, and, you know, I was really careful. So a coworker of mine flew in from out of state. He worked with me for 2 days. After that second day, he went back to the hotel. That evening, he didn't feel real good and didn't do real good that night. Ended up calling the next morning and saying that he didn't think it'd be best he'd come because he's definitely sick and he doesn't know if it's COVID or not. But, you know, if you're even sniffling, you can't go work in these facilities, which is okay. That's the way we contain this thing. Everyone that was around him for longer than 15 minutes at less than 6 feet distances also had to quarantine. A week after being exposed, I started feeling bad. I wanted to make sure, you know, I didn't want to, I was already quarantined. I didn't want to go get a test to get that thing shoved up and get any of my brain juice sampled unless I knew that it was a good chance I had it. So I didn't go get tested that day. I didn't go get tested the next. I waited around to see if things would get worse, if anything changed. What ended up happening was I started to lose my taste and smell. At that point, I was nervous and I knew I had COVID. So went ahead and scheduled it. I went up there to a little doctor's office, stayed in the truck. They came outside and tested me through my truck. Came back out 30 minutes later and told me I was positive. They handed me a list of vitamins that I could take that people had said were helping. No prescriptions, no anything, and I went home. So what happened after that was I went home and I spent a week in my bedroom away from my kids and my wife. Luckily, it's not a super small bedroom or a super small bathroom, so I was able to get up and move around. You know, I got a desk with a computer in my bedroom. You know, I have a TV in my room. I didn't feel too cooped up, but I'll tell you what, being anywhere for 7 days will make it feel small. So anyways, I got pretty sick. I don't feel like I would be misleading you by saying that it might have been the worst feeling sickness I've ever had. I could feel in my chest and just in my body how whatever it was I was going through could potentially kill someone. I felt it in my chest. I could feel the short of breath. I was definitely short of breath. I could stand up to go to the bathroom, and by the time I got to the toilet, I was breathing hard. Now, if that would have been any worse, I would have been freaking out. So yeah, it was a scary thing. Little by little, I started getting better. I started, actually the first thing that got better was actually the feeling of sickness. What I would say almost dang near the feeling of death went away. And then I was just congested. I still couldn't smell or taste anything. I was still short of breath, coughing and stuff, but the feeling of sick was gone. And man, that was a million times better. there was only about 3 days of that, like, oh my god, this is terrible, like I feel terrible sickness. After that, really it wasn't that bad. So after 7 days, I came out of the bedroom, was able to join my family in the rest of the house. My whole family was quarantined, so, you know, we didn't go anywhere, but I did come out of the bedroom. I wasn't running fever. I didn't feel sick anymore. I'd been in there for 7 days. I was coming out. There's a sheriff truck right here beside me. I hope you don't pull me over for speeding. Yeah, I mean, once I got out of there, really nothing has changed. Since that feeling has gone away of being sick, I mean, really and truthfully, I can deal with cough forever if I had to. As long as that feeling of sickness goes away, I'm good. I'm dealing with that now. I've got a cough, kind of like a little wheezing cough. I also still short of breath some. I'm kind of getting around, moving around now. Been walking around at the house, around my yard, and trying to do things. I actually did a little jogging in my living room around my house with my 2-year-old. She wanted me to chase her, so I did. That sucked as far as breathing, but you know, that's what I got to do. I've got to kind of build my strength back up. So yeah, I mean, I'm getting there. I'm glad to be done with that. Thankfully, my wife and neither of my 2 children caught it from me. If you saw in my last video, there was a brief moment where I was with, it's actually my father-in-law. He had his mask on in the beginning, but he ended up taking it off while we were together. So he has also been quarantined. And we've been hoping that he didn't get it from me that day, and so far so good. Today's the 14th day. He still hasn't got it, so I think he's gonna be all right. As you can tell, we are at this place again. We're just gonna swap out this card, check this camera. Yeah, it's been interesting. I made it through it. I was one of the lucky ones. Unfortunately, I do have some relatives that also got it that ended up in the hospital, including my mom, who's actually doing a lot better now and is at home, and looks like she's also going to be able to pull through this one. So appreciate all the prayers from you guys that are watching that do that sort of thing. You know, in times like that, it really doesn't matter what religion you are, if you even believe in religion or in a God. Man, whenever you're sick like that, or you have relatives that are sick like that, you just want people doing whatever it is they'll do that might help your chances of pulling through that, or some of your family coming through it. So anyways, appreciate you guys for checking out the channel. I'm glad to be able to be up on the bike again and to be able to continue to make these videos. So look, I know this video sucked, but maybe if you liked my last video, holy moly. Hello?
Hey, I'm just at the pull over and see if there's something hanging from my car, if there's a limb, or I hear something in my car. So.
Where you at?
Behind you now, I'm fixing to
Oh, well, follow me. Well, that was interesting. It was a stick. Anyways, well, let's just end this here because this video already sucks enough. So hey man, appreciate you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy.
Diamonds so pale, and I'm gonna take you traveling.